Is Mr. Beast a disgusting, exploitive monster, or is he a hero? Or both of those arguments have been flying around the internet for over a day now. And that's because over the weekend, he uploaded a video titled 1,000 Blind People See for the First Time, where we see him work with a surgeon to perform an operation on blind and partially blind people that would allow them to get their vision back.
They can't see, but we have all the technology to fix it.
Yep, half of all the blindness in the world is people who need a 10-minute surgery.
But the thing is, a lot of these people just don't have access to it or the money for it, even though it's life-changing. With a number of people sharing their stories to Mr. Beast and his team, one person in the video saying blindness stopped them from working, another saying he's never been able to drive a car, but this procedure changed all that. And of course, because it's Mr. Beast, he didn't just stop at the surgeries. He gave one guy a Tesla, others got money.
What does this say?
You just won $10,000.
Here you go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
We also see him take this international with people from other countries also getting help, and in total changing at least 1,000 lives.
Firstly, I just want to give a massive shout out to Philip DeFranco, who provided the clip and the video from which that clip was from. Secondly, I want to address this whole controversy surrounding Mr. Beast. Now, people are coming at Mr. Beast, and some are even going as far as calling him devilish and, this capitalistic monster. But in reality, are we really thinking about the positive that Mr. Beast done? Let's look at the story of Mr. Beast, okay? Mr. Beast started off making mundane, boring, and just exacerbated videos that were specifically for the purpose of him getting clicks. Now, over time, Mr. Beast started to gain a lot of popularity, which translate directly to a lot of money, which eventually led to him being able to spend large amounts of money on his video, which then translated to more views, more money, and such the cycle has continued. Now, Mr. Beast has almost made it a priority that all of his money and all of his videos be dedicated to some greater good, some greater entertainment value, or to the benefit of other people. And now, people now are starting to sort of lose track of exactly Mr. Beast's message and his mantra, what he's always wanted to get done. Mr. Beast has always wanted to be the best YouTuber. So yes, of course, he's going to make content that's going to be not only favorable to the people in his videos, but also favorable to himself. Now, here's what other people had to say about Mr. Beast following this amazing video of him cheering over 1,000 people's eyesight.
Largely, the response to this video has been very, very positive. People saying it's heartwarming, it's amazing, but also others saying things like, are we going to start celebrating people with resources giving back to people for entertainment only? He gave these surgeries to people who agreed to be in a YouTube video for him to monetize. How is that charity? And he just makes people dance on camera for basic human needs so he can make millions. As well as some that were split saying, he makes a good impact, but he does it in a borderline or maybe not borderline unethical way that benefits himself more than anyone he could ever help. Giving should be a selfless act.
So as you can see from that second half of the clip from Philip DeFranco's video, we see that people are, celebrating Mr. Beast to an extent and praising him for all the good that he's caused as a result of him curing these people and helping them out with their partial and full blindness. However, we also get the opposite side of it. People are reading into these videos a little bit more and starting to analyze and, in my opinion, overanalyze exactly what Mr. Beast's intent was with this video. People are saying things like he's, only doing this to promote himself and to make himself look good. Well, of course, he's not going to make videos that are going to make him look bad. And it's also his money, so he gets to spend it in a way that's going to be beneficial to him. However, I think a lot of you guys are doing a little bit of overanalyzing and jumping over the bigger picture here. 1,000 families, 1,000 individuals, if you want to diminish the number a little bit more, 1,000 people were able to recover from an illness that they could not previously afford. Now you can say, well, the American health system shouldn't, or you can say, oh, well, it shouldn't be that way in capitalism but that doesn't mean what Mr. Beast did was bad. Yes, the American system might be bad. Yes, sure, capitalism might be bad in some way. However, how is that Mr. Beast's fault? Is it Mr. Beast's fault that some people can't afford food? Is it Mr. Beast's fault that some people are billionaires? Is it Mr. Beast's fault that there are people in the Middle East that literally own more than most countries' GDP worth of assets and money? Is that all Mr. Beast's fault too? Or is Mr. Beast just simply operating within a system where he's now benefiting more than most others and able to give back in a way that most others cannot? Are we going to turn our eyes towards the other influencers who aren't curing blindness with their money? Are we going to turn our eye to the billionaires who could afford to give everyone in America a few bucks and it not affect their pockets, and yet they don't? Are we going to turn our eye to all of the other rich people who purposefully do things that are only going to inflate and increase their wealth, while Mr. Beast spends his money for the benefit of his viewers and the benefit of himself? Half and half. Maybe even more on the benefit of his viewers than the benefit of himself. There's actually no real reason for him to be doing this for anybody. And that's what a lot of people are ignoring, is he could be this money, power hungry person who could say, you know what, screw this. I'm going to make the content I want to make without having to spend a dime. And I'm going to be as cost effective and as budget oriented as possible to eliminate as much unnecessary cost as I can. I'm not going to auction off a freaking jet plane to my best friends to see who can keep their hand on it the longest. Although it might accumulate a lot of views, that's a whole jet plane I have to buy for that video, not to mention the production cost and paying people to show up and whatnot and whatever it may be. I'm not going to make a whole recreation of Squid Game where everyone that attends has a chance to win this large, massive amount of money and put all this money into production when it's just going to be a net negative. Because the video, while it is like the most watched video in YouTube history damn near, it's almost guaranteed not to garner as much money as the video cost. And Mr. Beast has been very vocal about this before. Not only has he made it clear that he spends almost all of his YouTube revenue on his YouTube videos, but he also says he has no issue with this. Can you name me another billionaire or another multi-millionaire who's perfectly fine with running a business that cuts them a perfect cut, or that is maybe even a net loss? Could you name one? I'll be waiting. Now, all in all, I do think that this is just a completely hyped up obsession for people that really need to find something to complain about. A lot of people really can't even fathom having the type of money that Mr. Beast has. Not only that, but if they did have it, they wouldn't know what to do with it. It'd sort of be like giving $1 billion to a child. They'd buy all the candy in the world, all the video games in the world, and all these other accessories, and they realize, well, there's not that much left for me to buy, and I still got all this money. What do I do? Well, Mr. Beast has come up with a solution for that. You start pouring it back into your community, and your community will pour their energy into you. And as a result, you have this recurring cycle where you can give money to your community, and in return, your community gives you the support, gives you the eyes, gives you the views that allows you to continue to make money, to continue to pour it back into them. Or you can be capitalistic, as you guys are trying to paint him out to be. You can be greedy, money hungry, attention hungry, and you can spend your money on, cars and all of these other things for yourself and keep them to yourself. And you can brag and you can show everybody else that there will never be anything like you, and eventually people will hate you for that. But I think this is just a massive, massive, massive nail in the coffin of exactly what it looks like when the phrase is said, people will always find a reason to complain. They will always find a reason to bitch and moan. What is bad about that video? 1,000 people? 1,000 people cured of partial blindness? 1,000 families whose lives are changed, old and young. 1,000 individuals who now can walk through life and enjoy it in a completely different way. And you're complaining the system should have allowed them to do so anyway. And of course, there are systems in place in the world where people have free healthcare. I mean, just look at the UK, look at Europe in general, where universal healthcare is pretty much a thing in almost every one of their countries. But then look at America and look at those countries. I'm not going to get too far into that discussion, but America is at the top for a reason. I'm not saying that there aren't things that can be fixed. Of course, I would love for individuals to have access to universal healthcare. But what does that come at a cost of? And is that Mr. Beast's fault? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So if you're one of those that, or we're complaining about him looking better because he's only doing this video for attention, or this video is just going to profit him more than it is profiting those who he helped, then please, please, please leave a comment in the comment section down below and let me know exactly why you think the way that you think, so that maybe we can reach some middle ground here. And if you're one of those who might agree more with me and think that this is a net positive in terms of benefiting Mr. Beast, but more importantly benefiting those who he helped, then again, leave a comment in the comment section down below, leave a like on the video since we agree with each other so much, and explain exactly why you think that this is a net positive. And let's stir up some conversation in the comments. Until next time, until the next video, dreamers out.